Oh, wet bridge. Yes, if you can't tell, I was dragging my feet. I got really hurt on that bridge one time in the wet. Yuck. Good old wet sock. Here it is. It's funny, I used to think that was skinny. Used to be scared to death of that thing from this direction, and then I started doing it from the other direction, which is a straight run on it with a little bit of speed already. And it was easy. I'm like, okay. And then you coming the way I just come, you kind of turn onto it. Kind of had me wigged out when I first started, but now it's so funny. It's like no big deal. The usual. I've been telling lately a lot that a lot of people that my eyes are my biggest enemy or deficit. I'm not talking about looking ahead. I do a pretty good job of looking ahead. I see things and I'm like, oh no, that looks hard or whatever, difficult, scary, big. And then when I finally do the thing, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, oh, that was easy, that's fun, you know. So I'm trying to train my eyes, or train my mind, rather, I guess, that when I see these new features or things or trail I've never ridden, to go, oh wow, that's awesome, that looks fun. It might be out of my skill zone for now, instead of going, oh god, that's scary, I don't want to do it. And if you don't know, I've been hurt badly in my life a couple times, motorcycles mostly, and at 50 years old I'm a little risk aversion. I just don't want to be hurt, and unfortunately it is part of what comes with this, is you do fall down sometimes, you do get hurt sometimes. We try to manage our risk while having as much fun as possible and try to go fast. I do like going fast. I hope this new mic setup I'm trying works well. I wish I couldn't hear so much of me huffing and puffing while I'm riding, but we'll see. Hey, cut that tree. And I don't really know why I'm too worried about it. Tomorrow I'm supposed to have on the UPS truck a whole different mic setup, so I'll get to do lots of testing with that, see if we can find something that works and sounds good. I feel like my footage looks really good. I just need to get the sound back. On my old GoPro, I had my sound really good, but I couldn't get the footage as good as I wanted. But on my new camera, shooting in 10-bit color and all that, it turns out pretty good. A little bit of color grading, color correction, it's good. With the sound, man. And I really don't want to have to like grade the sound the way I do the color. One, I don't know how, and two, it's already enough work as it is. So see if I can find a happy medium soon. I want to hear the trail, I want to hear the tires, I want to hear the talking. I don't talk much. I don't want to hear the huffing and puffing. It's one thing if I'm climbing or flat pedaling like this. It's another when I'm descending and I feel good, then I listen to it or watch the footage and I hear myself just huffing, and I'm like, man, I didn't have that on the other camera, which everybody knows you're breathing, but it makes me sound like I'm struggling going downhill. Most of the time I'm not. My heart rate actually drops on most descents, so I don't know. I'm not in the best shape right now that I've ever been in, that's for sure. But this is why I've been doing these zone 2 flat low intensity rides. Still try to make them fun as I can. Excuse me, there's a lot of this. Just slide up and down, pedal, pedal. That's how you get in shape. I got a feeling real soon I'm gonna have to stop doing pedal, pedal and start doing climb, climb. The good stuff. It's amazing how fast I fell out of shape. But given my age, I guess it makes sense. Still, I don't like it because I feel like I didn't take that much time off the bike this winter. A little off season, and the weather kind of got me messed up for a while. So we were late getting started on training. If you don't know, I do have a trainer. He tells me what rides to do, how much to ride, when to ride. Well, not really when to ride, but I tell him how many hours a week I've got available. And he tells me what to do. Well, we had a long season. I think I did 13 enduros last year, you know, and it was a long season, man. So he strongly recommended me to take a little off season. I still rode, just not structured, just come out, ride with my friends, have fun, whatever. But I didn't ride as much, and I didn't do the training, and we shuttled a lot. And whatever. It was also winter, and it rained a bunch this year. So when it's time to get back started on my first block of the year, training block of the year, it's raining every day, man. And every other morning it's freezing and raining. And I got a late start. And then I hurt my knee, and I really thought something was wrong. I wound up going to ortho and all that. And basically, I just had tendonitis, so I just had to lay off of it for a while and not do what I did to make it hurt. Start with, and it was pretty good. And I got back into my training very late, and then right before the first race of the year that I was going to do, which was Go Nuts Enduro at Jared's place. I freaking love Jared's place, man. The weekend before, pretty much the last lap of the weekend, as usual, high wreck. Knocked my shoulder out of socket. Take a pretty hard slam, and I'm back at the ortho. And when your ortho knows you by name, it's just like, oh, it's terrible. But I did make a video about it. Anyways, I was back riding pretty quick, just doing like my pedally training rides, not trying to ride nothing rowdy or take any risk. I sure didn't want to fall on it again. I don't want to fall on it now. So with all that together, all that to say, I got a late start on my training for the year, and I felt bad out of shape. When I started back really riding, I just couldn't believe how far I'd fallen down. And not just fitness, but descending, confidence, physically being able to handle riding rough terrain. And I just couldn't believe it. So, you know, last year I was in the 40 to 49 expert class, and I did pretty good. Won a couple races. I was on the podium a lot. I think out of the 13 races I did last year, I missed a podium in one race. Not making excuses, but I did break a helmet the day before the race I didn't make the podium on. I probably shouldn't even raced, but I'm stubborn like that. This year I moved up. I'm 50. Got to move up to the 50 expert class, and you know, you kind of think, oh, these guys are older and slower, but I almost feel like the competition's stiffer. At least this year. Maybe it's just because I'm in it. I don't know. It's weird. Racing don't change. You know, it's why you race within your peer group. Next race for me, I believe, will be Windrock. And last year, I struggled at the Enduro at Windrock. I did get on the podium, but that's because of the 7 guys in my class. 3 of them finished, and I was the 3rd. This year I'd like to at least leave there feeling like I rode better and I just didn't survive, because that's what last year felt like. I remember in one of the stages from the top, I don't even know what trail it was, come race day, because of course it rained the night before, par for the course, standing on top of this hill going nope, and I literally hucked threw my bike down the hill and then slid down the hill to get to it. And that's just not racing. I had zero confidence there, various reasons, but one, the place is nasty, man. Raw, nasty. I'd really like to be able to ride that place confidently. I just don't think it's gonna happen doing these flat pedals, zone 2 rides at Oak Mountain State Park. I've got to ride the nastier stuff more often, period. So we're gonna work on that. Race is coming up pretty soon. It'll be here before we know it. So expect some Windrock videos. It's so funny, it's wet and muddy. It didn't even rain at my house, and I think I'm about 10 minutes from here. It ain't muddy, but it's wet. The only thing slick is the roots. Springtime in Alabama. I wasn't sure how many miles I was going to get out. It's going to be dark soon, and I've been running 85 to 95. Not running. I've been riding 85 to 95 miles a week past 3 or 4 weeks on the mountain bike, on mountain bike trails, which for a guy with a full-time job and wife and 2 kids, and it's a bunch of time spent. It's Mother's Day, and I did get a short ride in this morning, but I'm a little behind on my miles for the week, just volume wise. So I come out, we had a great Mother's Day. Ooh, got a tree down. I come out just to try to get a spin in to make up some of my miles. I think I was at 75 after this morning's ride. So if I can get 8 or so in, that'll be good. Looks passable now. Good job. So yeah, anyways, I'm at nearly 4 miles in this little deal. So if I turn around and go back before it gets dark, which I think I can, or right at it, that'll give me 8 miles. That'll put me at 82, 83 miles for the weekend. That's close enough to the 85. Not bad. Next weekend, it's Memorial Day, so I have 3 days off work. Maybe I'll go to Windrock. I know Thursday, they got the Xterra out here this weekend, and Thursday I'm supposed to help Lon from Single Track Skills do 2 short skills clinics. They're free, I think, for the participants maybe. Lon is coming back from a broken back and he cannot ride yet, so he asked me to do the riding for his thing, so that'll be fun. No telling what he'll have me doing. I'm not even totally terrified just yet. But I found when I'm doing a low heart rate ride, if it's a short little punch, I'm better off just to hit it hard. Sprint up it like, of course my heart rate spikes afterwards, but not as high as if I slow grind it out. So if the climb becomes longer, then it's a mix. Pretty good gauge of it. You do enough training with heart rate or whatever. My coach actually goes off power. On trail, power fluctuates so much that you're looking at a 3-second average. You can't, by the time it shows, you're in a different power zone, whatever. So I know on this ride that if I treat it like a zone 2 heart rate ride, the power works out pretty good. We're pretty close. Looks like I'm gonna make it daylight wise. I don't know if you noticed, but I got my loud hub on the back. My if you know me, You know, I struggle with keeping wheels together and straight, and I'm too heavy. It's hard on the wheels. And I've got a wheel at Bike Link getting fixed up right now. They're my people, and they take good care of me. I've been running Hunt wheels, Enduro wides, with pretty good success. I say all the time, like, they'd probably sell more if they costed more. They're like $500 and something for a set. It's got good engagement. It's not an i9 Hydra by any means, but I think it's like 5 or 6 degrees of engagement. It's plenty. It's fine. It's got better engagement than this Loud DT Swiss with a 54 tooth ratchet in it. But the set that I put on this bike when it was new is starting to give me issues, and I can't be too mad. I think that wheel, had right at 2,700 miles on it, and for me, like, that's amazing. I never had a wheel set last that long without any issues, and they've been solid. But that may be the life of them. We'll see. It's getting awful dark in the woods, though. I'm curious to see how this camera shows it with my settings. Here comes a very short fun section, and boy is it dark. Now some really fun sections that I'm gonna need to be a little careful in. These roots are slick and then fun. We gotta hop the logs. I always hop the logs no matter which way I'm going. The grip is good. Man, the grip is good. Yeah, that was fun. .9. Maybe I can jib around the parking lot enough to get 8. 9.4 mile an hour average while jibber jabbering to my camera the whole time. It's average heart rate of 130. That's good. 8.05. There's my 8 miles. Skirt.